What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 18th of May. We have about 22 hours and 15 minutes left in the day. Here we are at about 2 cents now. Consolidating, chilling. Things are looking pretty good, at least in my opinion. You know, last time, if we take this kind of into context, here, you had this move up, right? Had the move up, you wicked up here, your closing high was right here. When you moved up again, you finally did, or you, not finally, but in a very short amount of time, you had your price above the closing high and you consolidated here. This is a very good look. Whenever you start getting above prior areas of resistance where you went up and then went down, you get up there and you start living up there a little bit, that's a good look, right? Unfortunately, it didn't merit into much. It did not have much merit, I should say, and we rejected the overbought zone. Here, we're at the same overbought zone now, looking like we might reject. We're down 4% on the day so far. We have 22 hours left in this day, so there's a lot of time left, okay? Down 4%, we can flip that any given hour. So 22 hours left in the day. We could definitely close today green. But if we close today red like this, and we reject the overbought zone, that could get us set up to go lower. It definitely could. But as long as we are consolidating here in that same kind of aspect where we're above this daily high close, where instead of finding resistance at this area, instead of coming up and finding resistance here, if we're now consolidating around the areas that we were finding resistance before, and even resistance before, and even resistance before back here, if we're consolidating here, that could imply that we're getting set up for something bigger into the upside. And I think that that's exactly what's going to happen, right? I mean, obviously, that's what I think is going to happen. Wouldn't that have been a total 180 if I was like, and I think we're going to dump through the floor to zero. Oh, man, that'd be funny. By the way, I sold all my Onyx coins. You guys are the bag holders. JK, no, that's not how it is. No. I'll let you guys know, too, with anything. I mean, most of the time whenever I sell, I normally talk about it before I do it. Like, I'll talk about it days before I do it even. I'll mention it. I'll bring it up when I'm considering it. And then I always talk about it whenever I do make a sell, right? Like, I don't just do that in the dark and not let anybody know. Anyways, getting away from that, more about the charts, less about me. Looking at this here, this 1 hour or this 1 hour time frame does look pretty damn volatile, that's for sure. The RSI is matching that a little bit, but to the bullish effect, we like to see that. You've got lower lows here in the RSI right now, a low here, a lower low there, and you have a low here and a higher low in the price. You're moving down without volume, but you're moving up with volume. I like to see it. That's fine. I'm not worried about this at all, right? I don't think that this. I mean, time will tell. We'll see how it goes, but you know, here whenever you dropped with above average volume. Here whenever you dropped with above average volume. Here you're dropping, it's not so much, it's barely even average, dramatically less. And I would anticipate that however low we go, it's not going to be a lower low than this here. I don't believe that we go lower than this low. I was somewhat anticipating yesterday or earlier today in my last video that I made, I was kind of anticipating that we would drop lower down here, that we might even go below this low and do something like that. I was anticipating this before we moved up, but I did say, I'm not selling. I'm not playing the game at all. I'm not selling any of my Onyx coin because I could be wrong, and I was wrong. Here we are back at the same price anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but it's possible. It is possible that we could see a lower low. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think if we were going to, we would have done it yesterday, and the volume, the interest seems to be to the upside and not to the downside so much. If we're looking at this from a relative low here to a relative high, we've found support right above the golden ratio like that. Oh, man. If you want a sign of front running, you know what front running is, right? To front run something. Something has been front ran. What I'm saying here is, imagine any kind of case scenario where you've got a low to a high. The average expectation most of the time is that you would go to the 382 and find support, or maybe the golden ratio and find support, or maybe this area and find support, whatever the circumstance might call for. With this kind of endeavor, the circumstance certainly called for a golden ratio retracement, and potentially lower. You never know at the moment. You never know how much lower you could go, but this is what it was calling for. The fact that the golden ratio is something that is not just privied knowledge to me and to you. Everybody can figure out where the golden ratio is to any given move. Trading bots, trading algorithms figure this out instantly, right? Whenever you reach for the golden ratio or an area that is anticipated to provide some buying pressure, and you reach for it but you can't hit it, you've actually even grinded this area but you couldn't touch the actual golden ratio or penetrate through there. That tells me that there's so much buying pressure, or at least not enough selling pressure. Same thing, right? If there's not enough selling pressure, that means there's too much buying pressure. If there's too much buying pressure, there's not enough selling pressure. It's the same thing. To get to the golden ratio, that's really bullish. It's a very, very bullish environment. So you didn't even go to the area that you would expect to go to. found support. Now we're up here. This gives me a lot of confidence. This look here, that is not only the low, but it's getting to be go time. People were putting their money in down at this area and not letting the price go lower, right? Even so much so that they were willing to buy at a higher price than what the expected move. I bet if these guys, whoever they are, are keeping the buy wall up, I bet if they wanted to, they could have bought at lower prices, but they didn't. Because something's going on where they just want to get in on this thing. I mean, I think that's what we're seeing here is various moments where they're going heavy and then they're just moving up this buy wall little by little. But we'll see how it goes. It doesn't have to be anything like that. What I'm saying, it could be some kind of variation or something that I'm not necessarily expecting. I'm just painting a story as I'm reading it here. But looking at the 1 hour RSI, I'm certainly bullish. Lower lows in the RSI, higher lows in the price. It looks good. Looking at the fibs, I'm certainly bullish here. The fact that we closed this 1 hour time from above the 236 and now we're at the 382, this gives me hope that we could find support right here. And if we do, if I'm correct, you guys, today might be a good day. Today, the 18th, might be a good day. If we find support here, if by the time you're watching this, right, this is the first hour of the new day, it should be the second hour, right? No. Yes, it's the second hour. So this is 0 hour. I guess this is technically this is the second hour of the day, but it's the first hour 1 and on, right? This hour of the day here, if you're watching the video and from here, like 2 hours, 3 hours later, we're up and we're above 2.09 cents, or if we're below, that's how you kind of know what the directional heading of the day is. Because where we are in the RSI, we could very well reject down or we could recover. We've got the lower low and the higher low here, so this could be a recovery moment. And we break out of this, and today's a good day. We see prices above 2.3 cents, the whole 9 yards and everything. Or we reject here. We're rejecting the 236, rejecting the overbought zone. Return to the oversold area. Actually do get into our golden ratio, form a lower low, and then sometime tomorrow or the next day, or maybe even later today, we can try to move up higher. But time will tell, and I think that a very short amount of time will tell. I think by the time most of you watch this video, you'll probably be able to figure that out. And it looks like there's some buying pressure going on, y'all, right at key areas, and not selling pressure. Higher lows in the price, lower lows in the RSI. That's a good look. That's a good look, and believe me, I know a good look when I see one. Okay, there's a lot of good looks around here, but OnyxCoin, it's the best. It's probably most likely the best cryptocurrency project I've ever seen, possibly the world has ever seen. In the history of all things, it's going to be huge. It's going to be gigantic, and we're going to make it the biggest and the best that it's ever been. I don't know. Anyways, looking at the 4 hour RSI, I do like the 4 hour RSI as well. It's a little bit bearishly inclined right now, but overall bullish, definitely bullish. You're in a strong posturing. If we do over the next 2 hours and 7 minutes, if we can come up and close this green, I think that'd look really good. But if not, perhaps there is a chance where we do move down lower. Time will tell, right? Here we are at 2 cents now. At the end of the day, the possibilities are we consolidate a little bit and then we break higher. We just move up higher immediately, or we go down, we form a lower low, and then we come up and we move higher. One way or another, we're going higher, guys. The price will take us to about 5 to 6 cents, 5.5 cents being that target area right by the end of May. And if we're not there, we're only going to be higher, right, by the end of May. By the end of June, early July, we're looking for a price that's around 26 cents or more. We're at 2 cents now. We got a lot of growth to go, you guys, a lot of growth to go. And then by the end of the cycle, it's going to be even more fantastical. We'll talk about some long-term stuff. Okay, we'll talk about some long-term OnyxCoin stuff. Somebody actually had a good request on that note, like where I see this thing going, not just by the end of this cycle, because we don't talk about that enough, but where's it going to go by the end of this cycle? But where's it going to go maybe by the end of next cycle? Is there a next cycle for OnyxCoin? What's my thoughts on that? So we'll talk about that in the next video. I'm not going to talk about it here because I've already talked your ear off enough. I got nothing else to say. We're in this beautiful bull flag. It's just a matter of time before we break out. I think we're showing signs that we're ready. Just because we're ready doesn't mean it has to happen today, but it could. It could happen today, but soon, very, very soon. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. 5.5 cents very soon, super soon. You're not even going to, you're going to blink and you're going to be like, damn it, why didn't I buy more at 2 cents? I knew it was going to go here. Why didn't I buy more at 2 cents? We all have that feeling, man. You can have as much as you want right now. You put all your money in it and you're still going to be like, damn it, why didn't I sell my shoes? Why didn't I sell that Xbox? I don't, that damn Xbox takes my life. I could have sold it for $100 and put it into OnyxCoin. I could have bought 3 Xboxes. I don't know. Xboxes are more expensive than that. I don't know. It's been a while since I bought one, but anyways, I'm doing it. I'm just talking and rambling, so bye-bye.